Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz January 5, 2016, 10:42 p.m. Okay, Stewart Rhodes, Oath Keepers. This is completing what I started a moment ago. He's really upset. I mean, there's more going on that at the time he can't even talk about. But here's what he has put out there. Again, to finish up the last paragraph that he wrote, he said, "Get your children off the friggin' X." I mean, very adamant, get them off. This is not a free speech barbecue at Bundy Ranch with live music. This is a whole different animal. Children have no business there. In fact, there should be no non-combatants, no women and children there at all. This is not a family event. He's trying to tell you, by gosh, this is really serious and it could get really bad. He also said that Oath Keepers adamantly opposes the armed takeover of the Mailer Wildlife Refuge. This is not in keeping with the moral imperative of only using forces in defense when people's lives are at stake. As at the Bundy Ranch in 2014. In this case, neither the Hammonds nor their neighbors were in imminent threat of being murdered. And neither the Hammonds nor their neighbors were for any form or had any form or asked for any form of armed standoff. They did not. In fact, they opposed it. This has been done by outsiders who misled and deceived the locals, deceived the Hammonds, and deceived the Patriot movement by luring them in with a peaceful rally and then attempting to rope them into a premeditated, pre-manufactured armed standoff. So there's more going on here. And like I said, this is a mountain out of a molehill. But it's going to turn unless something happens. If somebody backs down, it's going to turn nasty. So again, Rhodes and Oath Keepers opposes this 100%. And I have to agree, this is not where my neighbor's life is in danger on something that somebody else did. In other words, we're not being taken over in Birmingham, Alabama by the federal government just because it's there or because Obama on a whim decided to do it. There's no problem as far as, well, there's not near enough to draw anybody into this. Again, this is a pre-manufactured, I mean, it's a premeditated attempt to draw in. Why? I mean, we don't know. No one really knows at the time. But Ammon and Ryan Payne, they said they were both blindsided by this. But I think I see where the Patriots, I think I see what they're looking at. And you have to agree that it's wrong for them to be recharged again on something that happened many years ago. And it's happened for this entire family and their family before this, where they would combat fires, forest fires, with fire breaks. I mean, this is done all the time. you go to California, you see the fires, they're starting fires and trying to burn them together to get them out. This is what they have been doing. But one fire got out of hand, or two. But in either case, 140 acres total burned, and only grasslands, wasn't like trees. So they were fined and they paid it, and they had time in jail, and they spent time in jail. And then here we are years later, and what did I tell you on the first blog? I said, this is being pushed by the DA, and I was right. This is the DA that's reopening this case. Federal district attorneys, God, they're a pain in the butt sometimes. And I know, because I know the ex-federal DA here in Alabama that attacked a friend of mine in the same manner. Somebody that already, well, the person he attacked, I'll tell you up front, was Tom Owens, the founder of the Alabama Youth Home. The muscle man, the guy that let the cars and trucks run over his abs. And he received 4 world records, Guinness Book of World Records. And I have one right here on the wall with my name on it. I was the driver of the last and final truck, which was a huge truck. But anyway, he went to Mexico 20 years ago and only went once and picked up something that's legal here, but they have been out. It's not a steroid, it's a type of steroid, but it's a legal type of steroid. But he went there to get it, and then he was later charged with it. And it's the federal DA that did that. Federal DA lost his job over it too. And anyway, this whole thing is reignited, rekindled by the DA. I want to tell you that. If there is a party or a person who's made this mountain out of a molehill, it is him, in my opinion. And this ticked off some higher ups, and with the militia. I mean, what can I say? They feel the same way that, well, they're thinking back about the Bundy's, not the Bundy Ranch, I'm sorry, about the prior events with Waco, and anyway, you know where I'm going. I'm drawing a blank right this moment. But there's too few people yielding too much power to come in and do what they're doing, and they have no business doing it. And that's the way I see it. And I think that there should have been a long and hard look at it before bringing charges up that had already been paid. That debt's been paid a long time ago. That's wrong, and that's probably what fired up the militia. They know it's wrong as well, but at the same time, Stewart Rhodes, for some reason, the founder of the Oath Keepers, said that he opposed it. So maybe there's 2 different reasons there. And also, I'll say this, Stewart Rhodes said that he would, at a later date, not today, that he would give a much better speech or a letter sent out and tell you exactly what's going on, exactly what ignited this. And by the way, I was trying to think of Ruby Ridge and Waco, but he will talk more about this at another date. because I know it caught him off guard just like it did everybody else. But anyway, that's where we are right now. Guys, keep in mind though, you got to guard your house. You got to protect your family. If you feel threatened, then you have that right. But doing what they're doing, they're kind of out of bounds, my opinion too. Jody Wolf Expoz.